Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to talk about the new FM and some of what's been going on recently in the game. I'm sure everybody's aware of the outage earlier today, but let's say hello to everybody. Magic Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Pegleg.
Greetings, boys and girls out in BP land.
And Derpy.
Oh no, we couldn't play the game for 7 hours this morning. I think I'm suing someone.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Yes. So, all right. Well, let's go to the first slide. Yes, they updated the Omega Executioner, which is the Omega weapon that goes on top of your outpost. Previously, it would fire at the ship with the lowest health at that time, but people were taking advantage of that and getting their trenchers down to low health and sneaking in to get their basilisk in range. So now it's the lowest original health. So a lot of people are fans of this because people were using the basilisk to sort of shrink your base. Any thoughts on that, anybody? I know a lot of people are big fans of it.
No, I'm a fan of it. It's a good move. They need to put the basilisk hulls out to pasture, be done with them, to allow the PvP game to continue to evolve forward rather than be tucked in and limited to bases that are stretched out. Which is what the new OP weapon turret was supposed to accomplish. So obviously a little tweaking necessary to get it to, achieve its goal.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. And for 7 hours this morning, they had to replace the hamster Cujo, and they replaced Cujo with Cujo 2. So hopefully the servers are going to run well for the next year or so.
Loving that little GIF file.
Yes. So I would recommend everybody that's having any issues currently is to clear your cache. Even though we've been told clearing your cache with HTML5 is a bad thing, it's not really a bad thing. It just means that you need to download everything again, which results in a long initial download after you do this. But a lot of people are having issues hitting targets and engaging targets and whatnot. It's not a world or sector issue, because I've seen people complaining, one sector over on Discord, but I don't know that they've cleared their cache. I've hit several of the FM targets and have not had any issues. So if you're having issues, go ahead and clear your cache. It's just going to take you a couple of minutes to load the game. So, okay.
My cache is cleared now. I have to use just credit cards.
I see. Well, that's one way to look at it. Alrighty. Unless anybody has anything else, we can move on. All right, we're going to see VXP weekend. We have on Friday, and I was thinking about it. Like Derpy was out of town last week. Like, what happens if you leave town for 4 days and don't have access to, or leave the country for 3 or 4 days? What happens if you miss VXP weekend? There really isn't a good solution in the game, because the TLC only provides 80,000 points. You need 100,000 for each ship, so you need 400,000. There is no solution at this point.
Raising my hand, teacher.
Coin?
I no, well, there is coin, but I'm not considering that the option. I'm fairly certain that in Pillage they offer VXP tokens.
But I think it's another 10. I don't think it's enough.
It may not be enough, but it's at least partial solution.
Yeah, but with the turn speed and all that, a partial solution is not, because VXP basically adds 400% to your reload, and then, what is it, 75% to your turn speed? And so if you have different turn speeds, the ships break up, or historically they did, unless you had sync drives or something of that nature.
You have to spread the tokens fairly evenly across the fleet to get it right, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your fleet's still only going to be half as strong as someone else's, which, I mean, you're just kind of screwed if you miss VXP. And yeah, you can do a few things with the tokens to not be quite as screwed, but
Yeah, it's not a great. They need a. I don't even know. I was on Discord. I was asking people last night. What a potential solution would be that doesn't completely devalue VXP weekend, because I'm sure they make money off of that with people coining the repairs back. But it seems like there ought to be another way if you miss 3 days.
I like the idea that they did this once. The week of pillage, the week before the raid, they brought back the VXP targets so we could hit them again. Paid out slightly less VXP, but at that point, it was the actual raid's targets so we could see what they'd be like a week beforehand. And they paid out some VXP. It was locked to only that style ship, so we'll only be with our Harbinger at pillage week, which people complained, oh, this damage on this stuff is way too high, without realizing what they were there for. So,
okay. Also, we have a 4-week June Forsaken mission that's just started. So we get an extra week of raw build time, and then we get another set of tokens. So between your movie poster windfall and this extra week, are you still taking your 3 and a flag approach, Derpy?
Yeah, I'm planning three and a flag.
Okay.
I've got 3 built. I've got enough upgrade kits to get them to U3. So I figure I'll do that. If anything, I should maybe not do this because we're all assuming we're getting in tier 10 Garrison hole in the next raid, which will mean I won't want to use that week of FM tokens on my 5th Harbinger. I'll instead want to use it on the tier 10 Garrison, the Everest 2.0 or whatever. So maybe I should just build 5 at U1 or U2 rather than 4 at U3. But what the hell? I'll try it and just do something different. I'll build 3 in the flag.
Have you saved your movie poster riches?
No, I've spent them already, so they can't take them away.
I see. Since they're like, well, we looked at that poster again, we decided to take them away. Which, I think it's a bright move on your part. So, and we have the Feral Beast, which we'll talk about in a minute. I don't know if they've fixed that in game. And a few more TLCs we've seen before. We have Bounty next week. High Ground for your Everest. And then Foreboding Seas for your Harbinger, where we should expect to see 280 kits, 5 upgrade tokens, 8 build tokens, and the standard weapon plus 10 more of the limited, at least 10 more of the limited weapon, hopefully more. I'm hoping for maybe 15, because
I'll place my quarter on 12.
Yeah, but how does 12 eventually get us to? I mean, well, it's usually 5 rounds in the mastery, right?
Yeah, typically. Sometimes you get 3 in some, but usually 5.
Yeah, but normally this type is normally 5, so I'm not sure how you get to 12 that way.
Well, just that they upped the quantity in the pre-release to 12 from 10. I thought maybe they'd play that consistently.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Hi, TSM.
Well, TSM, you don't have the movie poster riches that Derpy has. So
yeah, I mean, on this topic, I'm tempted to save that last week of tokens, week 4. Don't spend it on the Harbinger and use it on the tier 10 Garrison when we get it in the raid. Even maybe saving the last 2 weeks and just having a really poor Harbinger fleet. But I probably won't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay. And then the beach party. Pegleg, you got anything on the beach party?
Not so far.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
Haven't even started to mix the drinks for it.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else on the calendar, we can move on. All right. This is the way it looks in the game right now. We have prize pack 1, prize pack 2, and 2 mastery rounds, or 2 separate mastery rounds. According to the briefing, the first mastery round, which is on the left bottom, is prize pack 3.
That's what it says in the game right now, too.
Okay, they just changed it. Okay,
It also makes sense.
yeah. So, oh well. I was going to say maybe if you ran out and you needed 3 Badger build tokens, or I guess 6 total, you could have done that. But that is now prize pack 3. So, and ignore the 0-3 below the bus, the VXP and the build tokens. So I don't know. I mean, if you are at this point, I think most people have their Badgers built if they're going to build them.
Yep. If you're playing catch up, great, but otherwise.
Yeah.
And if you were playing from behind, you look at it, there's a fair amount of raid points there that you didn't have to spend if you can do this. Between 3 Bastion Seawall 2s and the Badger and the rest of it.
What ships for the next pillage?
Well, it's not the Ronins anymore. It was their second. So is that onto the Photon ECMs at this point?
Oh, please no.
No, I
Or
thought
do we already have those?
We
Is
already
it
had
the
those.
Reclaimers?
I think it's Reclaimer time.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Everest and Reclaimer.
Okay.
Assault, Siege, Skirmish.
Yep.
But it's I can never remember where an acronym like ASS is only so useful if the 2 letters are different.
This is true.
Yes. So okay. Yeah, and hopefully we're not getting the I mean, does anybody remember did we get the Everest in a raid or did we get it in pillage?
I'm fairly sure we got it in the raid. Yeah, we get Everest in the raid and 5 days of FM tokens, 5 days of Everest tokens for free, and 10 more you could earn in the raid prizes.
Okay.
So we did get it for free, but we got it in the raid. We're all assuming that's the raid prize 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some tech for some tokens or whatever in pillage 3 weeks later or whatnot. But they certainly haven't told us.
Yeah, I mean, but when is the Sky Saber going to come out?
Well, it's a
bounty.
It's a Conqueror Hull.
It was planned for bounty. I don't know if they're going to have it changed up and ready or not. We haven't heard.
Okay. Oh, I didn't hear
it. It does seem a bit weird to give us two Conqueror Hulls right in a row, and forums would go crazy. They'd start saying, "Oh, you just hate base defenders. You're giving us 2 Conquerors in 2 months. Where's the balance, Kixeye?" So,
yeah,
I don't know if that's something they're considering at all.
Okay. All right. And this is unusual for a regular TLC, but it's more of a beach party type of thing. We're getting a chest full of rogue crews between the Deadeye Destroyers, Creeping Death, Junkyard Dogs, and the Demo Squad. So it is what it is.
Well, the only one that's useful out of those is the Demo Squad, and I've got a dozen of those saved that I never use. So
yeah, I counted. I mean, because I've run out of crew space because I keep on rolling way too many of the grease monkeys,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not taking enough damage in the targets, not, to make it worthwhile. And I don't really coin repairs, or so I guess I'm gonna. I think I have 23, 24 grease monkeys.
24 grease monkeys.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
So I use one or two, I guess, because I also have 24 repair tokens. So I guess I'll use those in VXP weekend, assuming that we have to take damage. So oh well. All right, if we're done with the feral beast. All right. Originally, we were presented with in the briefing with the new 186, which I autoed right before the show. I autoed it with no crew, U3, no X1. I think it was an hour and 8 minutes, hour and 9 minutes to auto the 186. I was doing other things, so I didn't even actually look at the target. So maybe we'll have somebody run through the target while we're on the show. And then we were told that the 162 was going to replace the 143. And then I noticed that, and it appears that we'll get the 143 removed next month. And
yeah, I was looking for 162. I don't even see it on the map.
No, it's not on the map.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Okay.
So I don't know how this impacts the release and the progression of the next Garrison Hall, because I assume that's why that was put in place.
Yeah, you switch out that bottom target for switch out the 143 for the. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's called a 162.
I thought we already had a 162.
It's called
the 162 is coming back.
Legion Barracks. That doesn't make sense because Legion Barracks is Praetorian style.
I think there were, when he first posted this, it was, I think it's multiple screw ups. When he first posted this, it said Legion Barracks 143, and then it had the same number of points. And I asked him why there was 4,000 additional points for the 143. And he's like, "Oh no, because it's the 162." So I guess it should be a Reaver Iceport 162. So yeah, there's several errors just combined, and nobody sort of looked it over, I guess, is the situation. So, but I'm not sure how this, if he says it's, it seems easy enough. It's an existing target. If they wanted to have that progression, why not just hotfix?
Yeah, why not update the game rather than the briefing or whatever?
Yeah, just hotfix and put, switch out the 162 for the 143. I'm not sure if that changes the progression, because this will be around, well, I guess the 162s as the new targets would show up not until after the raid. So I guess that makes sense if we are going to get the next ship, the next Garrison ship in the raid. So I guess it makes sense that the 143, I guess, is still there. But my guess, and I think everybody on the panel's guess, is that the 162 will stick around for the next year as a target, and then we're going to start seeing the 166 replaced with something that is meant for the next generation, the Tier 10 Garrison Hall, and then the next month we're going to see, or the next month we'll see the 176, and the following month we'll see the 186 replaced with something else. So
the new targets for the new hall, assumingly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the Tier 10 Garrison Hall, the 166 will get replaced, and the 176 and the 186 will get replaced 1 month after another. And the Legion Barracks, the Reaver Iceport 162 will remain the same for the next year, and that will be the. And I would expect quite the beefy increases in the event points. Anybody want to guess? 20,000 for the 166 as the basis? 25?
What you mean 25 for the 166?
Well, the next version, the 166 that we see that is meant for the tier 10 Garrison hull.
Yeah, it's got to be higher. It's got to be 30 or 35.
Oh, you think that much more? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about doubling it, but you're talking about close to pretty much triple.
Well, it's got to pay more than the 186. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the progression last time as far as how much the points jumped up. So, okay. And again, we'll have somebody run through this in a little bit, but on auto U3, the 186 for my fleet was like an hour and 8 minutes. So just on pure auto with no crew. Has anybody else hit them yet?
TSM
I'm looking for a 186, but I can't find one.
TSM did one and got a video about 15 minutes or so ago.
Already? Jeez, try hard.
Was he driving it? What kind of time did he get?
I did not see the video. I only saw that he had the post up on it over on TFC.
Okay. All right.
Mentioned that he did not see any places to hide in this one.
Okay. All righty. Well, let's move on then. All right. This is part of the way to introduce the Assimilation Generator. But I just wanted to talk about
43 minutes. It was nasty. TSM just complained.
Okay. So, yeah, well, I guess maybe we'll have Mike and Derpy or UPEG Leg run through it because Mike is at X1 and see if it's more of a.
And I'm all U3, so it'll be a good comparison.
Yeah, because of the ice fields. Okay, the Assimilation Generator, which is on the far right, is a CIC that you can install on your Harbinger when you're at U1. It's available, in the FM for 140K, which is, normalized. You can claim 2. It's sort of like, what we've seen before as far as a price point. It has a good chunk of 15.3K survival, explosive, and concussive that go directly to the hull it's installed on. In addition, we have a range 40 aura for a depth charge critical chance of +7, turn speed of +15. You multiply that together, all stacked together. You have a 35 and 75, 35% critical chance increase and a 75% turn speed increase. So it seems like it's well worth it as far as a special. But I was also going to try and tie that into, at least at this point, what specials make sense for the Harbinger. I've only listed, what I consider the no-brainers. The engine that we got in Pillage, you could have also picked up in the Raid, the Neural Network engine. The Damage Diffusion System 2, which adds, it's also a very healthy special. Adding, not only splash damage reduction, projectile speed, a good chunk of combat speed, sort of a middling evade bonus. You can't stack additional evade on this unless it is an engine or evade upgrade. So we're sort of limited on evade if you use that. And then we have the Reckoning ammunition casings, which is your critical chance and critical damage special with a little bit of splash thrown in there. And the Liberty Belt is sort of the obvious one with 50% concussive reload and 95 concussive damage. A pretty powerful special for a depth charge ship. So those are sort of the no-brainers the way I see it as far as the specials go.
Leaving one slot open.
Yeah, but you want to click one more time, Mike? There we go. The last special, because we only have 5 available, and then 5 plus a CIC, so that's sort of acting as a 6th special. We have the Pseudo battery with 50% concussive damage and 6,400 splash damage reduction. And then we have the Impact Overdrive, which is increasing your critical chance by 15% and your concussive damage by 42. So only 8 less, but critical chance increases by 15. Is that worth it? And it also has a 4+ hour building damage difference. So let's take one more click, Mike. All right, let's take a look at depth charge critical damage chance. We'll start with the Reckoning, which gives you 35%. Then we'll skip over to the Assimilation Generator, the CIC, which gives you another 35%.
If you got 5, yes.
Yeah, if you've got 5. So you're at 70% at this point. If you have your R&D all done, well, the math is easier if we go to the upgrade. If you're at U3, we've gone to 70 to 85%. And then we go over to the R&D, and that has another 12%. So you're at a 97% with the decision between the Bushido battery and the Impact Overdrive. Now, I ran the numbers as far as, so you're 97%. The Impact Overdrive adds 15, but you only need 3%. Unless there's something wrong with the game, that'll, 100 and, over 100 is actually going to positively impact your ship, which is the way I calculated it. You get about a 3% increase in damage with the Bushido battery. Not a huge difference. So you could run with either one of them. The Bushido battery is available in the raid if you still have points left. It's also available in the FM. But you also get a shorter build time, 3% more damage, and an additional 6,400 splash damage reduction. So it seems sort of a no-brainer to me.
So you're wanting to use the
Bushido.
The Bushido instead of which one?
Impact Overdrive.
Impact Overdrive.
Which you don't have pictured on here. So
it's below the Bushido battery.
Oh, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think splash damage reduction is a completely useless stat, so there's that.
Yeah.
But, the concussive damage by itself is probably just more if, like you said, you're already at 97% chance of doing a crit hit, and that's at U3, correct?
That's correct. You remove 15% if you are not at U3.
Yeah.
And there's a weight factor of 6% less weight for the Bushido battery if we're running into a weight issue on the build.
With a ship that has no countermeasure slots, I just didn't think weight was going to be an issue.
And which one has a shorter build time, the Bushido or the Impact Overdrive?
Bushido by like 4 or 5, somewhere between 4 and 5 hours.
Yeah, per ship, that adds up. Well, you've mostly convinced me. I'll probably just check some numbers.
Okay. So, but it is not only available in the raid if you have extra points, but you can claim up to 2 per week in the FM. So there is that. Does anybody want to run through the new target? Because
yeah, I just managed to find one. I was going up and down the locator, sends me a minute away, and the deal on that. But this is the 186. It's a very large target. 2 rockets, 2 brimstones, 3 more rockets, 2 more brimstones. Yeah.
The ice patches do not appear to be as dense as they were in some of the previous targets.
Yeah,
There's
not
actually
quite as
ways to get.
numerous.
Yeah, there's
You
ways to get
auto-
through them.
You autoing this or driving?
I'm driving this one.
Okay.
And your fleet is still a mix of U1, 2s, and 3s?
It's just at 2 and 3 now.
Oh, 2 and 3, okay.
My Ravagers were done at Alex-1 about 4 days before the raid, so I had a chance to do a few upgrades. Yeah, in the middle of an ice patch here, so could have done a little bit better job on
Yeah,
that.
you could have. Yeah, you could have swung outside of that one. See, this one I see is giving you an opportunity to, if you drive, to swing outside of or split them to a certain extent. Some of these targets don't give you any opportunity to do that. You're just forced to, muck around through the ice patches the entire time, which is not great. And I'm wondering, could you have reached that? Okay, you got that mountain. Okay.
So why am I clicking? Why is it going the other direction? I'm going to click right in front of me, and it goes around.
That's bizarre.
Like the space between there is not.
It's not actually empty. I'm going to click right here, and it's going to go around.
Not passable for some reason.
No, you can. Yeah.
That's exhausting. Because, you think you would have tested the.
Not good there.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. Because you understand where you see certain targets. Some of the photon ones have that where it looks like you can
Don't
pass.
get me started.
It looks like you pass, but you can't. And it sends you backwards.
But that gap looks plenty big visually.
Oh, yeah.
Except if you see that little blue hue that's around it, maybe that's land underwater.
Yeah, maybe
They could have stuck an empty little stick-out platform there, though, to eliminate any confusion.
I think I may know what that's about. But I know I'll discuss that later. Because I think they're trying to introduce an idea.
Well, whatever it is doesn't make sense how it's done, so.
Well, at this point, yeah. Yeah. I mean, do we see any other
Well, it's funny.
The new Garrison hull will have a shallower draft, therefore it can go through.
Well, you just ran over it on there. Just right now, you're running over it. It wouldn't let you do it up there.
Yeah, but this is the first time we've seen this visual effect. Before you kill everything, up above, there is a see straight up.
There's one ship left, so I can't.
See the
I can't go right here.
No, but scroll up. Scroll map. See that spot between the 3 mountains and the 2 mountains.
3 and 3.
Yeah, straight up. Well, yeah, and then a little bit to your left.
I was thinking right there.
Yeah,
the 3 and the 2. See if you can go through those.
Well, there's no way you should. Of course you can go through those.
Well, I'm just checking to see what the purple blue aura means. You're not going to go through them?
Why? I'm working on it.
Okay.
They're paddling as quickly as they're able.
Okay. Okay, so it's going through that.
And row faster. We only got the boat.
Okay, it's going through that, which is so maybe that blue aura doesn't really mean anything because it's
just some.
Okay.
Watch it go through now this time.
But this purple blue aura is new, right?
It's just some weird. Now it's over on the left. Maybe.
Around. No, that's weird.
Nope, can't go through this direction.
Jeez. Titanic had stood. It's the bottom of the iceberg mountain.
Oh, well. Well, that's probably the only time I'll drive that target.
You've got a few down to your left.
Little gold things, yeah.
Pools of waste.
What do we call those? Piss pools?
Waste pools, whatever, I don't know.
8% explosive, 6% penetrative. They've got 1% explosive resist, so 53 minutes damage.
Okay. Alrighty. Is there anything else that you want to?
Nope.
Okay. Mike, do you want to? Do you want to try? I don't know, either auto or drive, or X1.
I can do an auto. I can do whatever you tell me. I'm not a
Well, why don't you try to auto it? Because I've autoed it with all you three, and I got 1 hour and 8 minutes, and so we can see what sort of savings you might get.
Okay. Give me just a second here.
All good.
Okay. She's right next door. Geez, Derp, I have one right next door.
No, he gets to sweat whatever neighborhood that Derpy's living in right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, I'm going in. Okay, yeah, so you got it.
Yeah, you're on full screen.
And I'm just going to auto it.
Okay.
But I will start it.
All right. You guys can take care of this. I'll be back in a minute.
Is this screen too big or too close?
It's probably better like that.
Okay.
Actually see what's going on.
I'll just try and follow it around then.
I bet you your auto's probably going to get a better time than mine. Half to the upgrades, half to the driving circles.
But you did a little more driving around than you had to, I think.
Yeah, I did. Well, do you feel cheated by there not being enough
ice fields everywhere to make the X1 more valuable?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
You do? You want to have an advantage over us non-coiner?
Yeah.
I'm not a over us non-Everest coiners.
Actually, I should see if I can make that turn, but that would not be a true test then.
That's true. Maybe don't kill the last building and try and send one that way. See if X1
we'll wait and see if that group of the gold P there stays. If it does, we can go look. Oh, it's going to go get it. Maybe not. Yeah.
Don't you love when the auto AI sends you to pointless parts of the target? Don't do anything for...
No damage, yeah. Although this doesn't look good up here.
Well, do we think the next Garrison hull is going to be the missile one?
Well, I'm still hoping it's UAV because I'm hoping for a return of a Drac carrier like feel to it. But
I was going for rockets just based on expectations, but I think the UAV one could be quite interesting. I don't think missiles would make sense at all, but
last time I was doing FM with missiles was probably like the was it the MC? I'm trying to remember the name of that hull.
I did it some actually with rhinos.
Yeah, rhinos, but before that it was a blue colored hull. It was a Drac hull. That was like the go-to hull for the longest time.
The missile cruiser?
Yeah.
Like MCX missile cruiser style?
MCX, thank you, yes.
Okay. Well, you took more penetrative there, Mike.
Yep.
So what's the net number?
Let's see what I delivered. About the same as you, right? I think it's over an hour. Hour 21 minutes. Oh.
21 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So you saw
a big difference.
9 minutes over the U3 on auto. So
no, his was U2.
U2 with 3 of them were at U2, 2 of them were at U3.
No, I'm talking about Mike.
Yeah, Mike's X1, but Derpy's 54-minute driven was a mix of U2, U3.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I drove at U3. I autoed at U3 and got an hour and 9 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's what I was.
So it was actually worse?
No. You got an hour and 20 seconds.
Seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go mixing up seconds and minutes again.
Yeah. As long as your wife doesn't complain.
Well, we don't want to talk about that.
That was a good 30 minutes. No, that was 30 seconds, Mike.
I could go into. Well, never mind.
Yeah. Alrighty. Is there anything else we should discuss? I'm going to put a link out there in case anybody wants to join, because I'm not really sure what else we need to discuss about this week.
We can talk about how trash splash damage reduction is.
Yeah, again, I think it's all target dependent as far as splash and spread and projectile speed, how close they're going to land next to you. I mean, if the mechanics are in there properly in the target, as far as the way it's been described historically, as far as your splash damage reduction increases as you get further away from the epicenter of the source of the splash, it just seems like if
things have really, really high spread, it might make some sense.
Well, and the projectile, give you a chance to get away from it or create some distance from the epicenter. But I don't know. A lot of these things we're seeing is like we've seen historically are, like depth charges with, 600 projectile speed. There's no way you can get away from them. And so it really depends on how they tune the hulls or the turrets that we're, that are firing at us. As long as that, that calculation is the way they describe it, it really just seems up to the game designer to make that a useful component. But I completely understand what you're saying is the fact that it has not seemed effective at all in most of the targets that we run across.
Yep.
So
I guess while we're on this slide here, I will point out, if you didn't earlier, the Bushido battery is in the Forsaken mission for 70,000 points. So if you're like me and you were pressed on raid points, grab it in the FM, limit of 2 per week. So,
yep. You were on the show, right?
Well,
okay.
I get distracted quite easily.
Getting rid of those flies with your tail, I can understand all that. Okay. Is there anything, I guess if nobody wants to join, I don't know that we have I don't know, unless you have more on the splash damage reduction.
Nope.
Okay. Peg leg, Mike?
No, I don't have anything really.
Nope, I've got nothing else.
I don't know. I guess any thoughts on the raid? I mean, I hope everybody did the 190 or what was it? The
915.
915.
I did a few of those.
I did that one a few times, actually.
It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but
Yeah, and the reason I was suggesting people do them is for the, it's going to show up in a TLC.
yeah.
So I'm just hoping that people did them.
They did overdo it a little bit with the swarm.
But it didn't really do any damage. I mean, it did some.
Yeah, those ships you could run away from.
Yeah, but it was still kind of ominous.
It was ominous, but they didn't really. I mean, I think, did they tune those ships down individually, or were the ships just not that effective?
The ships are just not that great.
I mean, and all the targets, or were they just tuned down in that one?
They don't really do a lot of damage in any of them, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing that really does a lot of damage is the brimstone.
Yep.
Okay. All right. If nobody wants to join and we don't have any more topics, I mean, but I thought the raid was. I was disappointed in the lack of the Tier 9 Invader plates, which were in the raids before, because I could have got a lot more points. I didn't play the raid for a day.
You wanted to buy Tier 9 armor now that we have Tier 10 armor?
Well, as opposed to, I mean, you took away Tier 9 and you're not putting in Tier 10. I would have hit more targets because I've run out of certain ones of them. They made them unlimited before they were limited, and now they made them unlimited but unavailable, except for they are in the one of the TLCs. They are in
the Hellsworm one.
The let's see, Universal
one,
Universal Conquest.
That one too.
Yeah, which is actually for the Exterminator. Are they in two of them?
Yep.
No, they're not.
They're in the Hellsworm one, but we don't have the Hellsworm one this week. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, speaking of TLCs, we have 3 sold TLCs going on right now, which makes me very disappointed.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, they're not great targets. So
you get to do your FM and your TLCs and all with the same fleets.
Yeah. Well, your FM, what you're doing with Assault, or you got something.
Yeah, actually, Garrison. Well, the one I'm looking at is this Garrison. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Oh, hold the line.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and run through those 7 prize packs in 24 hours.
In the hold the
or
line.
6 prize packs.
What are you talking about? Hold the line.
Yep.
Yeah,
got extended by 24 hours, so
yeah,
I have some turrets to upgrade.
There you go.
Yeah, and you always have until even if you have them all upgraded, you still have next year new outpost, so might as well do them, and because you have a max of 10 there. So, alrighty, I guess we'll see y'all on Friday when we get a good chance to look at the VXP targets, and maybe it will. I'll change my mind on the specials, but and maybe we can talk about armors and whatnot. Especially since Derpy, how advanced are you on your fleets?
Which kind of fleets?
Your
Starbringer?
Yeah.
I just have 3 blanks, and one of those blanks is at U3 tomorrow. So I'm not putting on any weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
Until I get FM tokens. So
Okay. Alrighty then. We'll see you on Friday, and thanks for showing up, and we'll talk to you then.
Sounds good.
Later, people.